to 11th. Restarted 15th back at lap 159. It's one of the great things that you just have to love about this sport. Guys that you think are out of it, with these pit stops and the adjustments these teams are able to make to the cars, all of a sudden, here they come.
Well, and that's what makes the good teams so good, because they can make those adjustments when you're out to lunch. They make those adjustments, and they turn your car that's not handling very good into a great race car. That's why these guys are so good.
And one thing that's so important to that is the communication between the driver and the crew chief, the guy that calls for those changes on the race car. And it doesn't happen in a race or two. It takes a period of time. When Tony Stewart says on the radio, the car is tight off turn 4, it takes a few races before Greg Zipadelli, the crew chief, understands exactly how tight that he's talking about.
Exactly.
And the aerodynamics and the tire pressures and all the different things that go into making these machines work. And these guys yet can refine them to the point that they can make an adjustment on a pit stop with air and improve their car's performance. And
like Benny says, you have to learn the drivers, because some drivers say, well, my car's loose. Well, with some drivers that may be a little loose. Some drivers that may be that you're sideways, and the crew chief has to realize how loose or tight the driver means when he says, my car's tight.
And all of a sudden, Bill Elliott seemed to be very slow up between 1 and 2.
Tony Stewart just went by Elliott to take the 10th spot away from him. So Elliott, who led 43 laps earlier in this race, now struggling here. And the 07 car, Ted Musgrave, 1 lap down in 29th place, going to go by Bill.
Hey, Ted's running good laps. He lost a couple laps because of a flat tire, I guess, but he's been running really good.
Kurt Busch next to challenge Bill Elliott. Let's check on Dale Jarrett here. 4th place car, running right behind Jeff Gordon. Still in pursuit of his first win in the Southern 500. Matt?
Alan, he restarted in 2nd position. He's dropped back to 4th. They've been air pressure and track car adjustment on that stop. Todd, have the adjustments helped?
Well, they seem to. Started out, with fresh tires, he was able to get by Sterling and lead a lap, but the car's just still a little bit too free to go hard. Still a long way to go. Long way to go here at Darlington, and the main lap is the last few laps, and you got to keep that car, the side on it, and keep that thing in the race. And we'll keep adjusting on it. The guys have great pit stops, so we got a great race car. We got a real smart race car driver here at Darlington, and that's what it takes to win.
The trend this car has seen today is the best near the end of a long run.
And we have just reached the halfway point of the Mountain Dew Southern 500.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, they call it the Hallelujah lap. The lap that the race has become official. And we have crossed it now, so this one's in the books today. There'll be no Monday matinee here in Darlington. I want to back up just for a second and talk about the conclusion of yesterday's NASCAR Busch Series race, when the field was stopped about 100 yards shy of the start-finish line, coming to what would have been lap 74. And NASCAR said, well, the race is official because he's completed half the distance already, even if he doesn't cross the start-finish line. And it kind of set me aback for a minute, because I always thought, well, no, he had to come across the start-finish line and complete that lap. But I went back last night and looked in the rule book, and sure enough, the wording of the rule is that once the leader has completed half the advertised distance, the race will be considered officially completed. So yesterday it would have been 73 and a half laps, would have been 100 miles here at Darlington, and Jeff Burton had completed that. So it was right according to the letter of the book.
I understood that, BP. How come he had to go back and read it in the book?
I think the confusing thing that happened yesterday was, for most everyone, the fact that NASCAR stopped the cars just short of the line. It was like, well, we're not halfway yet.
Yeah.
Why didn't they go by the line and park the cars down in turn 1? I think that they were trying to tell the fans, look, we're going to try to run this race more. If they had driven the cars down in turn 1 and said, okay, the race is half over, they would have lost 3/4 of their audience. They would have gone home because they're not going to run the race. I think by stopping, they were trying to tell the fans, we're going to try to continue this race if humanly possible. And it wasn't.
And they did, again, by the letter of the rule book, the race was more than half complete. And so things were good to go, and Jeff Burton got that W. Sterling Marlin is in pursuit of a W in the Mountain Dew Southern 500. Just past halfway, he is the race leader here in Darlington. trouble. We're under caution at Darlington. There's trouble up in turn number 2. John Andretti is involved. Caution is out.
And the smoke, I don't know, it appears to be coming from under the car like it.
I don't know if he wrecked or something.
Is that oil all up on the right front fender there?
It looks like it could
I guess
be.
he's got
Well, no, he's got some
right
damage.
rear, obviously.
Some damage to the right side, so. Andretti thinks his day is over.
4th caution of the race.
Probably just trying to get some air in there.
Looks like Jerry Nadeau and maybe Steve Park also might have gotten a piece of things. And Kevin Harvick, too. There's Harvick. Look at that.
Got a big piece of something.
I wonder if something let go and dumped some oil and all those guys hit it and piled into the wall.
Well, let's take a look. Yep, something broke or blew up on John's car. Obviously, it looked like he probably dropped the oil. And then they all came barreling in.
And the mess was on. 29 there. Harvick, Park, Nadeau. And Harvick is going behind the wall, as is Nadeau. Marty?
Ricky Craven in 6th. The last 2 stops, 13-6, 13-4. Loose in, loose off. They'll go down on the track bar for Ricky Craven. Matt?
Dale Jarrett told crew chief Todd Parrott the track bar adjustment just didn't help that much. So they went back up the track bar. So now they're going to put 2 rounds of bite in the left rear. He hits pit road in the 4th position, Bill.
Burton in the 99. A little tighter set of tires. 1 round in the left rear. As for Sterling Marlin, the leader of the race, he's loose. He gave him 1 round of wedge, and again, he's going to beat him off pit road. Another great stop, Dave.
Bobby Labonte radioed in. I'm still sliding the nose, but as soon as I get on the throttle, it gets really, really loose. They made an air pressure adjustment to try to fix it this time.
First one off pit road is going to be Sterling Marlin. And it's a pretty close toss-up for second between Dale Jarrett and Jeff Burton. Who got there first?
Well, looks like maybe Jarrett did, yes. The real race was between Burton and the 48 car of Jimmy Johnson, looked like. Burton beat him by a couple of feet.
So Marlin, Jarrett, Burton, Johnson, and Craven will be the order they come off pit road. Add Mike Skinner's name to the drivers who got some damage in that wreck, too. 5 cars in trouble here in Darlington.
The Mountain Dew Southern 500 on TNT. Brought to you by Team Monte Carlo. The cars more champions depend on. Chevy will be there. By Walmart. Always low prices. Always. And by Applebee's Neighborhood Grill and Bar. Eating good in the neighborhood.
4th caution flag of the race for a 5-car accident up in turns 1 and 2. John Andretti apparently with something coming loose under the hood of his car. And the oil slick caught up Steve Park, Mike Skinner, Kevin Harvick, and Jerry Nadeau. All 5 of those cars are behind the wall. Let's have our Mountain Dew race recap and show you what's happened so far in today's event.
Gentlemen, start your engines!
The Grand Marshal won. Benny Parsons got the field rolling. They ran 19 laps, though, behind the pace car under the green and yellow flags. Tried to finish drying this racetrack after a 2-hour rain delay. Finally cut him loose at lap number 20. And Mark Martin got the jump on Sterling Marlin to take the early lead. Then it was Bill Elliott rallying his way up through. Elliott pushed to the front. Lap 92, Jimmy Johnson took the top spot away from Elliott, led for a little bit. Ricky Craven's crew got him off pit road first under a set of stops under caution for debris. He gave him the thumbs up. Craven took over the lead for a little while. Then Jeff Burton pushed his way past Ricky Craven out into the lead. So far, 7 different drivers have exchanged the lead 10 times. Here's another one. Sterling Marlin reclaiming the top spot. Lap 149. Todd Bodine with a solo spin. He had a left front flat earlier in the race that damaged his car. Nobody else involved there. Lap 160. Dale Jarrett took his turn out in front. Sterling Marlin back around Jarrett. 10 different lead changes so far. That was the most recent lead change. And then the most recent mess. Harvick, Park, Nadeau, Skinner, all caught up after John Andretti apparently lost an engine and oiled down turn 1. All those cars are behind the wall that are involved in the wreck. Dave is there.
Kevin Harvick's got a ringside view to one thing that his guys do best right now. But he never wants to see him in this position, Kevin. This track's hard to drive anyway. What was it like with oil?
Well, obviously it went straight, and wound up in the wall. But, you know, these Jim Goodwrench guys will do the best they can to get it back out there. The thing's pretty tore up on the right front. And knocked the motor over on the left side and been all the crossbars, and the throttle hung wide open. So we were struggling a little bit with our car, but, you know, we had got it fixed and got a little better. But what do you do? John Andretti blew up, or an oil line or something fell off, and a whole bunch of us wrecked.
Kevin, we saw some major skid marks on the track going up to the wall there. What were you doing inside the cockpit to prepare yourself for the hit?
Earnhardt always told me to grab the bottom of the steering wheel and hold on tight. So that's what I did.
All right, that's about all you need to know, guys. It was a pretty big hit.
You should ask him if he closed his eyes, like BP was talking about.
Oh, yeah.
I can ask him that, you know. BP said one time he closed his eyes before he ended up in the wall like that. Any eye closing here?
No eye closing. Not until I hit the wall. Then it was...
closed automatically.
Then they knocked them closed, but it's part of it.
All right, check out the guys over there. They're still going after it, working hard to try to get Kevin back on the track.
Kevin 17th in points coming into the race here at Darlington today. Still cleaning up down inside turns 1 and 2. They've got some of the jet blowers out to try and clean some of the oil dry and rubber off the racing surface.